One thing that I've learned as a man all these years, and a man trying to date, once married and trying to date, is that when it comes to the point of being picked as a man, once you have resources, finances, and everything, a Muslim woman, a Christian woman, doesn't matter what religion woman, they will marry any man as long as he got resources. Now, of course, there's outliers who say, well, it's not going to go well with me. But most women will be moved. I've had extremely religious Muslims, and I come from a biblical perspective. Women say, look, I'm happy to marry you. I'm happy to go with you. Okay. What point am I trying to make? I'm saying order comes from a man. Women are changeable based on circumstances. So if I point to a man in a restaurant to a woman says, "What do you think of that man over there?" Let's say this dude is bold, like he look like he has not kept his weight up. He's like a fat dude. A woman would say, "Ew, excuse me," especially if she was like 22, 23, 24, 25. She would say, "No, I'm too gorgeous for that man. What are you talking about?" Then if I proceed to say, "Okay, cool, you're too gorgeous. I can see that you're pretty. All these guys desire you, and they would like to have a chance with you." That man over there owns the restaurant that you're eating in, and the soccer game you're going to. He owns that soccer game. The soccer team. And like the cinema you're going to afterwards, the movies, he owns that too. You realize that whatever she said about that man being ugly, his bald headedness, his unattractiveness, his weight will not matter anymore. To now, he's become very attractive. She's interested. She's interested, or she'll happily sleep with him for his resources. We as men are different to women. We don't change. We don't go, "Oh, you see that 65-year-old over there?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, she old, ugly." Yeah, you realize that she owns everything, like in the same manner I just explained for the man. And you'd be like, "Oh, you know what? I changed my perspective." Men, when we're not feeling it, we're not feeling it. So we're gonna hold our standards. That's why a man can date somebody who is simply just selling flowers on the side of the road. A little market sales girl. No education, nothing. So we're different. So that means that we stick to what we believe in. We are creatures of order. That's why if you look at scripturally, the prophets, men were men of conviction, men of order. Conviction means you stand by your integrity, you stand by your belief system. Conviction. Not, oh, I'm thinking, no, man, me too. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's not the case. That's why leadership in the scripture was not permitted to be given over to the opposite sex. Why? Because they're changeable. Not because they are incapable, but because they're changeable. There's a lot of other factors. Now, of course, I'm not trying to get crowds with this video. I realize I'm not going to get crowds with this, but I might as well come out and say it. But leadership was not given over to them because they're changeable. Today I feel like this. Tomorrow I feel like that. Leadership is not about how I feel. It's about what is and what isn't. Okay, it is, it isn't. Okay, cool. When I say men are not capable of being manipulated, yes. But order comes from a male. And yes, of course, there are males these days who've been raised in feminized homes who behave much more or less feminine, right? So they might as well be feminine. So the women will point to that and says, "Look, how about him?" But that's not the point. But the true masculinity, which the society is trying to kill, order comes from there. It doesn't come from feminine energy. It does not. Feminine energy has its power in allureness, in attractiveness, in natureness. It does have its power. But leadership and order, that's why any society does not esteem masculinity as far as the family structure is bound to fail. We see the West going down. We see the West going down because they elevate femininity. Now, when masculinity is elevated, we're not saying there's not men who are somewhat toxic in some essence. Yes, but most men just want to go about taking care of the woman, doing the right thing. That's why women, with all the power that they've attained now, they're suffering. It's about to get worse. All the power they've attained, they are suffering. And it's going to get worse, I guarantee you. Because men are crying out saying, "Hey, we cannot have this." Women are gaslighting them. Men are saying, "We cannot have this." Women are like, "Oh, if you're a real man, you would step up to the plate." The men are like, "Nah, My logic tells me it's not worth the squeeze. When you got orange, I'm squeezing it for juice, nothing come out, and I do another one, nothing come out, and I do the fourth one, nothing come out. It's not worth the squeezing because I'm not getting the juice out. The juice is not worth squeezing. That's not my statement. I've heard this many times, but it's not worth it. If I squeeze the first orange, juice comes out. Okay, cool. I got hope. So if I got 1 liter jug to fill, okay, the more oranges I squeeze, the more I'm gonna fill this 1 liter jug. But if it's not, nothing's coming out. I got no chance. So I better take a different approach. So leadership does not come from an emotionality perspective. Men are emotional too, yes, but men use logic ahead of it. I hate my job, but I go in day in day out. I don't go. I hate my job, so I quit, or I hate my job, so I slept with my boss. We don't got those. Leadership comes from a logical perspective, an orderly perspective, not an emotional fluctuation perspective. Those that have heard me will understand. And the rest of y'all, all right. I've said enough. Go ahead, like, subscribe, get the word out. Let's get this channel growing so get the message out. Peace, love, and blessings.